my friend. Welcome to this podcast on the Daily English Podcast channel.
We are so glad you're here with us.
We really are. Have you ever smelled a specific brand of tomato sauce and suddenly...
Suddenly you are not an adult anymore.
Exactly. You are 7 years old again. You are sitting on the floor of your childhood living room.
It is such a powerful feeling, you know.
It is. Why does a simple smell have the power to make us time travel? Well, today, we are answering that question. We are taking a deep dive into the human mind, using some very beautiful, universal childhood memories from our sources.
Yes, because food is never just food. I mean, it is a biological key that opens old doors in our minds.
Oh, I like that, a biological key.
Exactly. Today, our mission is to explore these memories. We are specifically focusing on the most comforting topic of all, which is childhood foods.
Yeah?
We are going straight into the psychology and the brain science of why a simple weekend dinner can stay in your mind for 40 years.
40 years. That is amazing. And just so you know, the language we use today will be clear, simple, and relaxing. It is perfect for your English learning journey.
But the concepts we explore, they will completely change the way you think about your next meal.
I am so ready for this journey. We are going to walk through a perfect childhood weekend based on the source material.
Right, a full weekend.
Yeah, we will move from the deep relief of a Friday night to the tradition building of a Saturday morning, and finally, to the sensory power of a Sunday afternoon in a grandmother's kitchen.
It sounds like the perfect weekend.
It really does. And along the way, we are going to look closely at 4 specific English words.
Yes, little vocabulary breakdown.
Exactly. Those words are dough, extra, syrup, and homemade. And do not worry, we will not spell them or test you on them.
No tests here.
Right, no tests. We will simply discover how they build the world of our memories. Okay, let's unpack this. Let us start our journey on Friday evening.
The best time of the week.
Oh, absolutely. The exact moment the school week and the work week finally ends.
The psychology of a Friday afternoon is, well, it is fascinating. Think about the life of a child.
Okay, thinking about it.
From Monday to Friday, a child essentially works a full-time job.
Wow, yeah, I guess they do.
They wake up early, they sit at a desk, they follow very strict rules.
And they cannot speak when they want to speak.
Exactly. They cannot run when they want to run. They must use their brains to solve math problems or read difficult books.
Which requires a huge amount of mental energy.
A massive amount. The brain is constantly working, just constantly monitoring all the rules.
So by Friday afternoon, the child is carrying a really heavy load of mental stress.
Yes, they're carrying the weight of all those rules.
And then the final school bell rings, they walk home, they open the front door, the heavy backpack falls to the floor.
A great moment. And the source material shares a very specific memory about this exact moment.
Oh, yes, the pizza memory.
Right. The speaker remembers their father making Friday night a true event.
Like a celebration?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not just eating dinner to survive, but an active celebration of surviving the week.
Surviving the week, I love that. And the central piece of this celebration was pizza.
But, and this is key, not a pizza delivered in a cardboard box from a restaurant.
Right, right. The father built the pizza at home.
Yes, and the memory specifically focuses on the foundation of the meal. The father would go to the store and bring home the bread base.
Which brings us to the first word we need to understand today for our vocabulary breakdown.
Yes, the word is dough.
Dough. Okay, so if I am understanding this correctly, dough is essentially the blank canvas before the art happens.
That is a perfect way to describe it.
Right. It is the raw material. If you want to make bread or cookies or pizza, you do not start with the finished product.
No, you start with the ingredients.
Right. You start with flour and water mixed together. It is soft. It is heavy. You can push it with your hands and change its shape.
Yes.
So, just to be clear, that soft mixture is the dough. Simply put, it is bread before you cook it.
It's exactly right. Bread before you cook it. It is the starting point.
Right.
And in the memory, the father brings home this soft pizza dough.
Right.
And the act of using dough instead of a finished pizza, well, it changes the entire dynamic of the evening.
How so?
Because when you buy a finished pizza, you just eat it.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah, true.
But when you buy dough, you have to build something together.
Oh, I see. You add the red tomato sauce.
Yes, and they add the vegetables. But the source is very clear about the most important ingredient.
The cheese.
Yes, the father always made sure to put on a massive amount of cheese.
And here we find our second important word, extra.
Extra cheese.
Right, the father added extra cheese. The concept of extra is so important for a child.
It really is. Normal life is full of limits.
Exactly. You can have one cookie, you can have 1 hour of television. Normal life is all about control.
But extra means more than usual.
More than usual, yes. It means breaking the normal rules. It is an additional amount of something good.
Like cheese.
Like cheese. So the extra cheese on the dough is a signal that the normal rules of the week are finally paused.
And what's fascinating here is that breaking of the rules is a huge psychological relief.
The comfort zone.
Exactly. So they put this heavy, soft dough with extra cheese into the hot oven. The cheese melts. The smell fills the house.
And they sit down together and watch a movie while they eat.
Every single Friday. The source notes that the child felt incredibly happy and safe in these moments.
Happy and safe.
Ugh.
But I want to push back a little on the food itself.
Oh, sure.
We are talking about how wonderful this hot pizza is, the extra cheese on the dough.
Yes.
But is the physical taste of the extra cheese actually creating this powerful lifelong memory? Or is Friday pizza night functioning more like a finish line for the week?
A finish line. Tell me more about that.
Well, imagine a long race. You run for miles and miles and your legs hurt. You are tired.
Right.
Then you see a white line painted on the ground. When your foot crosses that line, you can finally stop. Your brain knows the pain is over. I feel like this pizza dough is that white line. It is the finish line.
Your finish line analogy aligns perfectly with how the human nervous system works.
Really?
Yes. We have an alarm system in our bodies. When we are stressed, even just the mild stress of following school rules.
Right, the Monday to Friday rule.
Exactly. Our bodies release a chemical called cortisol. We are on high alert.
High alert, okay.
But the brain constantly looks for signals of safety. And routine is the strongest signal of safety we have.
Because routine means predictability. You do not have to guess what happens next.
Yes. When a child knows that every single Friday, the exact same thing will happen.
It's a soft dough, the extra cheese, the family movie.
Right. Their brain recognizes the pattern. The brain says, I know this situation. Nothing dangerous happens here. We are in a comfort zone.
Oh, wow.
So the alarm system turns off, the cortisol levels drop. The feeling of being happy and safe, described in the source, is actually the physical feeling of the nervous system completely relaxing.
So the memory of the delicious pizza is really just the brain remembering the subtle relief of stress.
Exactly.
The pizza is the physical key that turns off the alarm. That is a brilliant way to understand it.
It makes a lot of sense.
It does. But, the weekend journey does not stay in that sleepy, relaxed Friday state.
No, it moves forward.
Right. If Friday night is about escaping the rules and stopping the stress, Saturday morning is about creating something new.
Yes, it is about building a family legacy.
So we smoothly transition from the end of the week to the true beginning of the weekend, Saturday morning.
Saturday morning has a completely different energy than Friday night.
Totally different.
Friday is heavy and tired, but Saturday morning is light, and it is full of possibility.
Let us think about the contrast. Think about the difference between a Tuesday morning and a Saturday morning.
Oh, Tuesday mornings are tough.
Very tough. On a Tuesday, time is the enemy. Every minute is a problem.
The adults are rushing.
Yes, and the children are rushing. And rushing means doing everything as fast as possible because there is a punishment if you are slow.
You will be late for work.
You will be late for school, the house is loud, the breakfast is fast, you might eat a piece of cold bread while standing up.
Just to get out the door.
Exactly. But the source provides a memory of a Saturday morning that is the exact opposite of that Tuesday panic.
A completely different world.
Yes. The speaker woke up without an alarm clock. The sun was up. The house was quiet.
So peaceful.
And from the kitchen, they could hear the sound of cooking. Their father had a very specific weekend tradition.
What was it?
Well, he did not just make a normal breakfast. He made massive stacks of pancakes.
Ah, pancakes. Now, a stack is a tower, right?
Yes, exactly. A stack is a tower, one flat, warm, round pancake on a plate, then another pancake placed right on top of it.
And then another.
Yes, the father in the story would sometimes make a tower of 10 or 15 pancakes for the whole family to share.
That is a lot of pancakes.
It is. But eating dry bread is difficult. You need something to bring it all together.
Right.
You need butter, and you need our third vocabulary word.
Ah, yes. Our third word is syrup.
Syrup.
Syrup changes the entire experience of the food.
What is it exactly for our listener?
It is a very sweet liquid, usually made from the sugar of maple trees. You see butter and maple syrup mentioned a lot.
Right.
But the important thing about syrup is how it moves.
How it moves?
Yes. It is thick, it is heavy, it does not flow fast like water.
Oh, I see.
It pours very, very slowly. It covers the warm pancakes, making them sweet and sauced.
And the slowness of the syrup perfectly matches the slowness of the morning.
That is a beautiful connection. The slow syrup matches the slow morning.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The source material notes that during this breakfast, there was no TV, no rush.
No rush at all.
Right. The family just sat around the tower of hot food, covered in sweet syrup, and talked.
Just eating and talking.
Yes. We have moved from the Friday night relief to this slow Saturday connection.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this brings us to the deeper psychological concept of tradition.
Tradition.
Yes. A routine is something you do repeatedly, like brushing your teeth.
Right. You do it every day, but it is not a tradition.
Exactly. But a tradition is a routine that holds emotional meaning.
Emotional meaning.
Yes. And the source reveals an incredible fact.
Oh, what is that?
The speaker, who is now a grown adult, still makes these exact same massive stacks of pancakes for their own children every single Saturday.
Wait, really? The exact same tradition.
The exact same ones.
So the food memory refused to die. It traveled from the past into the present, and now it is traveling into the future.
That is the power of a family tradition.
Mhm.
We often think that parents pass down physical things to their children.
Like a house or money.
Right. But we actually pass down nervous system states.
Nervous system states. Wow.
By standing in the kitchen and making those pancakes, the adult speaker is recreating the environment of safety.
They are passing down that feeling of no rush to the next generation.
Yes. They are giving their children the gift of a slow morning. They are teaching their children that at least one day a week, time is not the enemy.
Time is a friend.
Time is a friend. The sweet syrup is just the tool they use to deliver that message of peace.
That is profound. The food is the vehicle, but the destination is a feeling of belonging.
Belonging, exactly.
The child learns that they belong at this table, but the family unit is not just parents and children.
No, it is much bigger than that.
Right. To find the deepest food memories, we often have to look at the extended family. We have to leave our own house.
We travel to a grandmother's house.
Yes. So we transition from the immediate family table of Saturday morning to the deep roots of Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon at grandmother's.
Exactly. Grandparents play a very unique role in child development, don't they?
They absolutely do. Parents are often the managers of a child's life.
Right. They manage the schedule.
The schoolwork, the rules, the discipline.
But a grandmother usually does not have to manage the rules.
No, her role is often purely about connection and presence.
And the source shares a highly vivid sensory memory of a Sunday afternoon in a grandmother's kitchen.
It is a beautiful description.
It is. The speaker remembers being very young, so young and so short that they could not even reach the top of the kitchen table.
They were just too small.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they had to push a heavy wooden chair across the floor and stand on top of it just to see the bowl.
Standing on a chair, that is a powerful perspective shift for a small child.
How so?
Well, think about it. Most of a child's life is spent looking up at the world.
Oh, right.
They see the knees of adults. They see the bottoms of tables.
That is true.
But when they stand on that chair, they are suddenly elevated. They are brought into the adult world. They are given a job.
And the job was magic.
Pure magic.
They were mixing white flour, sugar, and little dark chocolate chips. They were creating something from nothing.
Which introduces our final vocabulary word for today.
Yes, the final word is homemade.
Homemade. We use this word all the time, but it has a very deep meaning.
Home and made pushed together.
Right. So, in our modern world, almost everything we eat or use is made in a factory.
That is true. Machines build things 1,000 times faster than humans can.
Exactly. A factory can make 1,000,000 identical chocolate chip cookies in one day.
And you can buy them in a plastic bag at any store.
But homemade means a human being used their own two hands to create something in their own home, in their own kitchen.
It is slow.
It is slow, and it is imperfect. It is not made in a store or a factory.
And that leads directly to a detail in the source that I found really fascinating.
Which part?
Well, the speaker remembers the smell of the warm homemade cookies baking in the oven.
Such a great smell.
The best. And they beautifully describe that specific smell as smelling like love.
Smelling like love.
Yes. Now, I have to challenge this idea. I have to push back.
Okay, let's hear it.
We hear this everywhere. People always claim that homemade food is the absolute best.
They do.
But I want to know the scientific reality. Does a homemade cookie from a grandmother actually physically taste better on the human tongue than a perfect cookie made by a professional baker in a factory?
That is a great question.
Right. Or are we just tasting the human attention? Are we just tasting the time and the idea of love put into it?
This raises an important question about how we remember and how our senses work. To answer it, we have to look at how the brain is built.
Okay, I am listening.
Think about how your brain handles most of the information from the outside world. When you see a tree or when you hear a dog bark,
Sight and sound.
right, that information enters your eyes or ears and goes to a sort of waiting room in the middle of your brain.
A waiting room.
Yes. The brain looks at the information, sorts it, and then sends it to the correct department to be understood.
So sight and sound have to go through security before they enter the brain's main offices.
Exactly. But smell is completely different. Yes. The biology of human smell is ancient. When you smell a warm chocolate chip cookie, the smell does not go to the waiting room.
Where does it go?
Smell has a VIP ticket. The nerves in your nose connect directly to the emotional center of your brain and directly to the memory center of your brain.
Directly.
Directly. There is no filter. There is no waiting.
Wow. So the smell physically touches the emotions before you even realize what you were smelling.
Yes. So when that child, standing on the chair, smells the warm homemade cookies, their brain takes a permanent photograph of that exact moment.
Because it goes straight to the memory center.
Exactly. They don't just remember the taste of the chocolate chips. The brain stores the smell together with the feeling of standing on that chair, the safety of that kitchen, and the undivided attention of the grandmother.
Undivided attention, meaning the grandmother was not looking at a television screen.
No.
She was not worried about a work email. Her entire focus, her whole world in that moment was the child on the chair.
And that kind of total attention is very rare, and it feels incredibly safe to a child.
So, back to my question. Does the homemade cookie actually taste better?
Yes, it does. But it tastes better because human flavor is not just about the tongue.
Flavor happens in the brain.
Exactly. The brain mixes the physical taste of the chocolate with the emotional memory of total safety and love.
Oh, wow.
You cannot put that into a plastic bag at a factory. You can only make it at home.
That completely changes how I view food.
It changes everything.
Every meal we eat with people we care about is actually a chance to program a positive memory directly into their brain.
Yes, using that VIP ticket.
Which brings us to the most important part of our deep dive today. Let us zoom out.
Let us look at the whole picture.
Exactly. Let us look at all three of these memories together and find the pattern.
Okay, so we have the Sunday afternoon with grandmother's homemade cookies.
Right. And we have the Saturday morning father building giant stacks of pancakes with sweet syrup.
And we have the Friday night celebration with soft pizza dough and extra cheese.
So what does this all mean? When we look at this perfect weekend, the most interesting thing is what is missing.
What is missing?
Well, none of these beautiful, powerful, lifelong favorite memories involve large amounts of money.
That is very true.
Right. The sources do not talk about eating at five-star restaurants. They do not talk about buying expensive toys or traveling on airplanes to big holidays.
Not at all. The ingredients of a perfect memory are surprisingly cheap.
Just simple things.
Exactly. What is dough?
Yeah.
It is just flour and water.
What are pancakes? Just flour, water, and heat.
The materials are completely ordinary.
But the ordinary materials are mixed with the one thing that has true value.
Time.
Time. Yes.
Yeah.
The father taking the time to build the pizza instead of ordering one.
The family taking the time to sit around a stack of pancakes without rushing out the door.
Playing, laughing, talking. And the grandmother taking the time to let a small child stand on a chair and make a mess with flour.
The ultimate takeaway from our source material is that memory does not care about price tags.
It really doesn't.
The human brain does not remember how much something cost. The brain only remembers how a moment made us feel.
The best memories are usually the simple ones. They are constructed from simple materials, undivided human attention, and a feeling of safety. That is a deeply encouraging thought. It means you have the power to create lifelong memories right now in your own kitchen with very simple things.
You really do.
And I want to speak directly to you, our listener. I want to connect this idea of simple ingredients to your own life today.
Yes.
Specifically, I want to connect it to your journey of learning the English language.
The process of building a memory and the process of building a new language are surprisingly similar.
Think about the pattern we just discovered. You might believe that to truly learn English, you need expensive things.
Like fancy classes.
Right. You might think you need to buy complicated computer programs. You might think you need to travel across the world to live in London or New York.
Which is not true.
No. You might feel bad because you only have a little time and free resources. But think about the pizza dough and the homemade cookies.
You do not need a factory or an expensive restaurant to make something beautiful.
Exactly. You just need simple ingredients. You need some basic vocabulary words. You need to listen to simple, clear conversations.
Yes.
But most importantly, you need to add your own time. You need routine. Just like the child whose brain felt safe because Friday pizza night happened every single week, your brain will learn English best if you create a safe, steady routine.
A language routine is a comfort zone for your mind.
Comfort zone.
If you spend just a little time with English every day, without rushing, without the stress of trying to be perfect.
Without the Tuesday morning panic.
Exactly. Without that panic, your brain will absorb the language. You do not need to force it.
It just happened.
Just as the warm syrup slowly covers the pancakes, slow, consistent, and steady practice will naturally cover all the gaps in your knowledge.
Consistency is the magic ingredient. Showing up every day, standing on that chair, and mixing the simple words together.
Making something homemade.
Yes. Before you know it, you have created something you can use forever. Great English learning. Well, as we approach the end of our deep dive into these wonderful sources, let us briefly recap the journey we took and the tools we used.
We started with the psychological finish line of Friday night.
Right, the end of the week.
We learned about dough, the raw, soft mixture of flour and water that serves as the foundation for bread and pizza.
And we learned about the power of extra.
Yes, the concept of having more than usual, which signals to a child that the strict rules of the week are over.
Then we smoothly moved to the tradition building of Saturday morning.
We contrasted the loud rushing of a weekday with the intentional slowness of the weekend.
Perfectly represented by thick, sweet maple syrup pouring over a massive stack of breakfast food.
And finally, we explored the deep neurobiology of Sunday afternoon.
The VIP ticket.
Yes, we learned how smells bypass the brain's waiting room and go straight to the memory center. And we understood the true value of things that are homemade.
Created by human hands with undivided attention, rather than bought in a store or manufactured by machines.
Dough, extra, syrup, homemade.
4 simple words that hold massive emotional weight. You can now recognize these concepts not just in English, but in your own life, in your own memories.
Absolutely.
But before we finish our simple, relaxing conversation today, we want to leave you with a new idea, a thought that extends beyond the sources we discussed.
We always want you to continue the deep dive in your own mind. So think about this scenario.
Okay, picture this.
You are an adult. You are having a very difficult, stressful week at work. The rules are heavy, and the rushing never stops.
A Tuesday morning feeling.
Yes. And suddenly, in the middle of a Tuesday, you feel an intense craving, a deep physical hunger for a specific food from your childhood.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Maybe it is your grandmother's soup or your father's simple pizza. We want you to ponder this lingering question on your own.
What is the question?
Ask yourself, are you actually hungry for the physical food? Is your stomach asking for flour and water?
Or is your mind just hungry for the feeling of safety?
When adult life becomes too complicated, does the brain try to order a homemade memory to turn off the alarm system?
Or are we hungry for the taste? Or are we hungry for the simplicity and love that we felt when we first ate it?
Are we hungry for the time when we were safe, small, and loved?
That is a fascinating puzzle. I know I will be thinking about that the next time I suddenly crave a giant stack of pancakes.
Me too.
Thank you, my friend, for joining us on this deep dive. We explored the science of the brain, the power of tradition, and the hidden magic inside an ordinary kitchen.
We hope this simple, clear conversation brought some peace to your day and helped you see both the English language and your own memories in a bright new light.
Keep practicing, keep finding joy in the simple things, and keep remembering the good times. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.